Have you ever noticed how the best shows don't just end? They leave behind a legacy that makes fans crave more? Outlander is one of those rare series. And now, with season 8 on the horizon, it feels like we're heading into something both exciting and bittersweet. Yes, the original story is wrapping up, but here's the twist. The universe isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's about to expand in ways that could completely reshape how we see the characters we've followed for years. Before we say goodbye, it's worth diving into everything we know about Season 8, what it means for Brianna's journey, and how the upcoming prequel, Blood of My Blood, is already rewriting Outlander history in some bold and controversial ways. Brianna's storyline might be the biggest question mark heading into this final season. If you've been following both the books and the show, you know the adaptation doesn't always match Diana Gabaldon's original story beat for beat. That's partly because the last novel isn't even out yet, which means the writers are working without a completed roadmap. For Brianna especially, that opens up both possibilities and risks. In Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, Brianna and Roger decide to settle back in the 18th century with their children, just as the Revolutionary War looms over North Carolina. Season 7 seems to have set up that exact path. But here's the tricky part. The show has already skipped over some key beats from the books, and one of them could be a massive missed opportunity. Remember when Brianna was shown flipping through Frank Randall's work in Season 7? It looked like the perfect setup for a deeper reveal. In the novels, Brianna discovers something huge: letters hidden in Frank's research. One of them even warns her about the dangers connected to the Fraser family prophecy, and another predicts Jaime's death at the Battle of King's Mountain. That discovery shapes Brianna's decisions in a profound way, almost as if Frank was reaching across time to guide her. But on the show, the whole setup just fizzled out. The book wasn't even named. Instead, Brianna was shown reading a random letter from Roger, and Frank's work was never mentioned again. If Season 8 doesn't circle back to that thread, it's going to feel like a hole in Brianna's story. Think about it. Frank and Jaime never met, but their presence in Brianna's life has always been tangled in rivalry, guilt, and love. Finding Frank's letter could have been the moment that brought peace to that complicated triangle, letting Brianna realize her adoptive father wanted her to embrace her real father all along. For viewers, it would have been a way to see Frank not as an obstacle, but as someone who gave his blessing in the only way he could. Leaving that out would be more than just a skipped scene. It would be a missed emotional payoff that Brianna deserves. And speaking of Brianna, there's another concern. In the later books, she and Roger welcome another baby, a boy named Davy. Sweet? Yes. But if the show decides to make that her entire final arc, then it risks reducing her character to nothing more than motherhood. And while Brianna is a strong mother, her journey has always been bigger, about identity, family legacy, and what it means to straddle two different worlds in two different centuries. Season 8 needs to honor that. Davy can exist, sure, but he shouldn't be the headline of her story. The headline should be Brianna finally finding peace with her past and both of her fathers. While Season 8 is tying up loose ends, Outlander fans don't have to worry about empty screens. The prequel Blood of My Blood arrives on August 8, 2025, and it's already making waves for one huge reason. It's rewriting the origin story of Claire's parents. Up until now, the canon has been clear. Henry and Julia Beauchamp died in a car accident when Claire was 5 years old. Tragic. End of story. But in Blood of My Blood, that accident doesn't kill them. Instead, it throws them through time. Yes, Claire's parents are time travelers too, and they find themselves in 18th century Scotland. Suddenly, what was once a closed-off piece of backstory is wide open. Will they survive? Will they meet people connected to Claire's later life? Could they even cross paths with familiar faces? The possibilities are huge. Actors Hermione Corfield and Jeremy Irvine, who played Julia and Henry, have already hinted at how intense this shift will be. Moving from World War I-era London to 18th century Scotland isn't just about new costumes and old castles. For Julia especially, the danger is deeply personal. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Corfield explained that the threat isn't bombs or war. It's male violence. It's the same kind of brutal danger Claire faced when she first stepped through the stones. And now, her mother may be forced to endure the same. Here's where things get complicated. If you've been part of the fandom for a while, you know this has been one of the franchise's biggest controversies. Outlander has often leaned heavily on sexual violence as a recurring plot device. Claire, Brianna, Jamie, Fergus, and even young Ian have all suffered it. And many fans feel it's been overused to the point of exploitation. Others argue it's historically accurate. But either way, it's a pattern that has haunted the series for decades. And now, with the prequel leaning into similar themes, there's concern that the cycle is repeating itself instead of evolving. That's why these next chapters are such a turning point. Season 8 has the chance to give Brianna, Claire, and Jamie the closure they deserve, without relying on tired tropes. And Blood of My Blood has the chance to refresh the franchise with bold new ideas, while being more thoughtful about the stories it chooses to tell. If done right, Outlander's ending won't just be a finale, it'll be a foundation for a stronger future. Because at the end of the day, Outlander was never just about time travel. It was about love, legacy, and survival across generations. Season 8 could close the book on that story, but the prequel is already opening the next one.